From tornadoes to hurricanes, blizzards, and everything in between, you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. The Stormfront Freaks are former television meteorologist Mark Massaro, atmospheric science graduate and skywarn storm spotter Brady Harris, digital meteorologist and weather producer on the Weather Channel app Dina Knightley, former on-camera meteorologist at the Weather Channel Kim Cunningham, and I'm your announcer and Skywarn Network coordinator Mark Johnson. Now, here's the moderator of the Stormfront Freaks podcast, Skywarn storm spotter and chaser Phil Johnson.
Hey everybody, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is season 4.0 of the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Can you guys believe that? We've been doing this now for, this is our fourth year.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Which is crazy, but if
4 years and no raises, what is that about?
Yeah, sorry. Actually, you have gotten a raise. I've given you 100% raise every year you guys have been here.
100% of nothing.
But I want to let you guys know, if you happen to be joining us for the first time, thank God and thank you. We love having you. Check us out. Want to make sure that you check out stormfrontfreaks.com, because if you like this show, check out the backlog of all the other shows we have with famous guests from the weather industry. We've had people on like storm chasers Reed Timmer, and the late Kelly Williamson has been with us. So those are some great shows to go check out. But this is episode 70. Tonight we're joined by the owner, Nathan Moore, and VP of production, Cary Meltzer. They're with SVL Media, which is a storm video broker. So great having you guys on tonight. We're also going to be playing the lightning round with them, which is what we always do. We're going to have a good time there. We've also got Weather Fools tonight and Weather's Believe It or Not. But I do want to share this with you guys. This is exciting. So season 4.0 comes with some new great announcements. We're also starting tonight. We have two new segments that will be on the show. One is Tornado Talk with Jen Narramore, which is tornado history of past tornadoes. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about Wichita Falls tornado. And then we also have what's called Tracker Chat. And this is Whitting team that's going to be talking a little bit about chasing and ideas to help you get started, or if you are chasing, maybe some ideas you haven't thought of. So we're looking forward to those two segments as well. But before we get all to that, we do have to introduce our team and our co-host tonight. We always do that by finding out what everybody's drinking. It kind of lets you know we like to have fun. It's a laid-back nature of the show. So, Dina, welcome back. Happy New Year. What are you drinking?
I'm just drinking a beer, my Michelob Ultra. I'm kind of boring, but, I got to get up in a few hours, so I don't want to get too tanked.
I am amazed, because that seems to be the go-to. That is the
It is the go-to, like, if I don't have my
for all the freaks.
Yeah.
Except me.
Well, it's a little...
I've seen Brady with that. I've seen Maz with that. I've seen MJ with that. And Kim, I think
barely no calories to it.
Not Mick Ultra.
You've never had the Mick Ultra.
Kim wouldn't be caught dead drinking it.
Well, Kim,
Sorry,
so happy New Year to you as well. What are you drinking?
Thank you. Okay, I am breaking the pattern here a little bit. I actually have, and it's not chocolate milk, but it's like a White Russian. It's
right.
It's actually chocolate mint Baileys with vodka.
Oh,
so it's really good.
Wow.
It's delicious.
And
what do you call it?
Freshens your breath.
That's right.
So if you drink too much and puke, it'll still smell good.
It'll still smell good. I'll have to think of a name for that, Maz. Maybe you can come up with one. But I had this left over from the holidays, so I was like, okay, well, I just drink some of this. So that's what I have. Merry Christmas.
All right, Maz, how about you? What are you drinking tonight?
Okay, so my wife's like, hey, we got a bunch of margaritas in the fridge. Get rid of it. I'm like, okay, so I have a very large cup of margaritas in my Huskers cup. Go Huskers.
Oh, that's right. A lot of Nebraska people here tonight.
All right. Well, happy Cinco de Mayo to you. And we always tell our guests we don't have a real green room, but we have a digital green room, and you're always welcome to help yourself, which means you got to bring your own. It's BYOB at Stormfront Freaks. But Nathan, I'll start with you. What are you drinking tonight?
Well, a beer. Nothing too crazy, but Leinenkugel Summer Shandy.
It's my husband's favorite. Yes.
That's a good one.
I was looking for a marker to market winter shandy, but I couldn't find a black marker.
Nice.
That's good.
All
good.
right.
Well, Cary, what about you? What are you bringing tonight?
All right, so I'm going with a bottle of Johnny Walker White Walker. It's a limited edition Game of Thrones bottle.
White
that my roommates got me for my birthday. So I'm actually opening it for the first time right now.
All right. right, crack it open.
Goodness.
Wow.
Turns your eyes blue.
This is this is a special occasion, of course.
Wow.
Are you going on the rocks with that bad boy?
Neat.
Straight
We go,
out of the bottle?
neat.
He's just gonna put a nipple on it, right?
Straight into the glass.
Wow, there we go.
All right.
Nice.
All right,
Baby.
well, gentlemen, I'm going to do this. I want to give you a formal introduction, and I'm going to leave that to Kim to actually introduce you guys.
All right, happy to do it. All right, Nathan, let's talk about you first of all. Nathan Moore is the owner of Stormview Live and SVL Media. He also chases for KETV ABC out of Omaha and NTV out of Central Nebraska. Now, Nathan has been chasing for nearly 20 years. You don't look old enough for that. And is currently a double major student. I love this. At the University of Nebraska in meteorology and GIS. Now, Kerry Meltzer, he is the VP of production at SVL Media, an advanced sky-worn storm spotter, and FAA licensed private pilot. Dina, right up your alley here.
Yeah.
Flying a plane before he was even old enough to drive a car.
Wow.
His obsession for
Nice.
storms has led him to realize his dream of becoming a full-time storm chaser. And you guys, I love this. And I think, what you guys are doing is awesome. I think the audience would love to know a little bit more about your company and how it came to be.
Well, we kind of just started with Stormview Live. It's been about 5 years now, and there's a lot of storm chasers out there. But one thing I've learned over the time is watching some of the older people that have been chasing for a long time. They doing the live streaming part of it, and that's kind of where Stormview Live came about. There's this. I always found that every time I was out there chasing, there was just people from different parts of the country and overseas that just really wanted to see what the tornadoes and the storms were all about. And so that's kind of what Stormview Live came about. It was just more of a focus towards we're going to storm chase. We're gonna help the National Weather Service. We're going to help the public, but we're also going to take it one step further. We're gonna bring this awesome weather to the public so they can watch whenever they want to watch.
When you say older, what are you talking older guys? What's your
Well, I mean, there's been a few people out there that have been live streaming for a long time. Brett Adair, Michael Phelps, they've been streaming a long time. And I didn't really get into the live streaming part of it probably 20 years after I started chasing. So they've been doing that part of it a lot longer than me.
Are you out there with Ranby?
Yeah, he's the chief meteorologist at KTV. Yeah,
I was at KMTV3.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, that's why I was like KE. Hey.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, this will be our 4th year with them, so we're excited about that.
Is Cheryl Lemke out there right now?
Man, that name sounds very familiar, but I can't pinpoint.
Okay.
There's just so many people we talk to, so unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So Kim asked you a little bit about what got you started with that a little bit, but give me a little history, Nathan, with your involvement, and then Kerry, if I can have you jump in, being VP of production, kind of what your role is with the company as well.
Well, as far as SVL, as far as SVL Media goes, Stormview Live it blew up a lot bigger than I ever thought it would. Just people wanting to share their experiences with the public. You got to have an eye for it. Some people just don't like doing that, and I completely respect that. But for us, we like to do that. We like to put it out there for the public. And at the same time, we were seeing that the live streams were getting on national networks, and I wanted to be able to give SVL that opportunity for our people that are putting it out there. So that's why SVL Media was created. And just an opportunity for them to make a little money for their work and to get on TV with their live streams. That's why we started SVL Media.
And you said you're going for what, 5 years? 5 years now?
For SVL Media, this portion of it will be our 3rd year, so we're pretty new.
Okay.
So Kerry, what's your role? Talk a little bit about your role.
All right. So as far as production, basically, we want to be as much of a liaison to the news networks as we possibly can be. We don't want to just, kind of give them any old video. We want to be extensions of the networks, as if they had their own camera people out in the field. So it's basically what I do is I work with the chasers to try to get, make sure they have the right equipment, make sure everything is, working properly, I handle most of the video editing for, all the videos that we put out there, stuff like that. And I also make a DVD every year for the all of our highlights. So
Nice.
Oh, that sounds cool.
lots of editing.
Yeah, I bet. So how do you guys market yourself? I mean, to like the Weather Channel and some of the other big ones, or they just come to you guys?
It kind of started where everybody was, it started with the Weather Channel coming to us for a video. So that's how we started our relationship with them.
Okay.
And then, we just kind of saw that we could do this for our people. The main goal that we want to do is just to kind of take care of our people, make sure that they're all, if they go out there spending a lot of money on gas and, stuff like that, they get at least some of it back. So we just slowly started developing relationships with the networks.
Right.
We made a bunch of phone calls, sent out emails, kind of explaining what we do. And now we have, some good contacts and still
Good.
trying to grow. We're always trying to grow.
I have to give them my email address so they can send me some stuff at Weather Channel's digital side. But I was looking at your website and there was a lot of names on there. Is everybody a storm chaser? So how many do you have?
Well, there's about 130 people with SVL Media right now.
Really?
Yeah, and we got about, I'd say probably 10 to 15 what we call admins, and they do little things for us that, honestly, I'm a single father of 2 children. I go to school, work, and so there's people out there that just love weather that want to be a part of it. They can't get out there and chase, but they're retired or whatever the case is. They just want to be a part of the weather somehow, some way. So they do little things for us, like post weather history, or they post when our chasers are live to the social media, and they spread the word. So that's kind of what they do. So they're a big help.
Right. It's kind of tough a little bit for us because we all have full-time jobs as well. And we're trying to do this too.
And you guys are reimbursing mileage for all those 130 people? Because Channel 3 still owes me some mileage.
Kind of wrong with that.
So what's the benefit? Tell us a little bit when it comes to storm video brokering. What's the benefit for someone like me if I wanted to go ahead and stream my stuff or try and sell it? What's the benefit for me to go through a broker like you?
Well,
Gary. All right. Well, we've worked hard. Me and Kerry especially. We fly to Atlanta every year to meet with the Weather Channel, digital and TV side. We go to, I fly out to New York. Kerry just happens to live there, so that's a nice convenience. And we meet with everybody. So we have the connections, and a lot of people it's very difficult to get in the doors of those networks to get people to even, they get hundreds and thousands of these emails every single day of all these weather events that are going out. So it's difficult to, if you're by yourself, to get out there and get noticed. So that's kind of what we do. We help those people get noticed in the media networks, whereas they might not be able to.
I see.
What do you think, Kerry? What would you say is the benefit if I'm a chaser and I do want to stream? What's the benefit now? Has it gotten harder if I'm trying to sell my own stuff as a solo chaser? Has that gotten harder? That it's almost gotten to a point, and Dina, you could probably chime in a little bit too. Is it better for me to actually go with a broker than to try to do it myself? Kerry, what do you think?
To me, people that are out by themselves and they post it out on their social media, it almost seems like a lot of the networks are just trying to get it for free from them. They want to get their name on the air, so they tend to give it, and that's that. So the benefit of working with us is that we could actually get you money.
Yeah.
That's always good. Money good.
Yeah, I don't really know many people on their own that are getting money for their videos. Maybe just name credit.
Is it negotiable, or do you have set rates for things, or how's that work?
No, we're negotiable. We're easy to work with. We just want to help our people.
Yeah.
Has that gotten harder over the years to sell it now that people are using their phones, and Joe Bob out his back window just caught that tornado going by and happened to be at the right place at the right time?
No, I mean, if anything, our guys could do that. They're doing that too. So, it is getting
harder. But are they giving it away more, I guess is my point. Are there more people difficult. That are doing it and it's just giving it away because they want the credit, not the money? Is that hurting you guys as a broker?
Yeah. With internet everywhere, everybody's got cell phones now that have really good quality. And so, you know, for us, it's hard to gauge a little bit for us compared to like some of the competitors, like Live Storms Media, etc. Whereas they maybe, you know, they've been around a lot longer, so maybe, you know, this is getting tougher for them. But we're so new, we're still kind of growing, and so I think we're benefiting a little bit by that for the fact that we didn't see what it was really beforehand. So we're kind of growing as it gets tougher, if that makes sense.
So you got 130 guys, and I guess a lot of them are actually watching right now live. So where are they? Are they all over the place, or are they clusters of them in certain places? Like, name some places.
All over the place. We have the Midwest. We have a lot of guys in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, that region. You know, there's some places we're light, like out west, you know, Northwest. But, you know,
they're not real busy out there.
Usually not, but it's nice to have somebody when something does happen, you know,
because I'll be looking for it in the morning too. At you know, on the Weather Channel's digital side, I'm looking for video too.
Right. We have a couple of guys in the Northeast. I think there's 4 of us in the Northeast, five of us, something like that. But mostly in the Midwest. I mean, we're very covered in the Midwest.
That's good.
So, Cary, do you edit it immediately? Like, if somebody sends you a video, does it get edited, or you just like maybe sell it raw, or do you actually?
Yeah, I mean, we try to get it out there as fast as possible. I have the turnaround time down to about 12 minutes, maybe.
Nice.
You know?
The quicker the better. Yeah, because they're trying to get it out as fast as possible.
Right. As long as it's not, you know, it's like a crazy long video to go through. I just basically put it right out there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, I'm going to pause you for a second. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. Want everybody to get a chance to go ahead and refill your drink. And then also check out the new Tracker Chat with the Tornado Trackers. They're going to be discussing weather models. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome to Tracker Chat. This is the Tornado Trackers. My name is Jeremy Heyman, and I am joined by the great Gabe Cox and Jeff Mangum. How's it going, guys?
Going great.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, this week we want to chat a little bit about weather models, forecasting models for beginners, for the folks who are looking to head out and spot some supercells and other weather events. Gabe, you have always been our resident forecaster. I believe you've been studying forecast models on an amateur level since you were about 5. And so we would love to hear from you on what kind of models do you like to use? What kind of websites do you go to, et cetera, et cetera. So Gabe Cox, take it away on Model Talk.
All right. So here is my disclaimer. I am not a meteorologist. That is not what I went to school for. So the fact that we get anywhere near a storm should give everyone hope that they can one day forecast as well. Forecasting is one of my favorite things to be frustrated with because it's easy to see something on a model and want to take it for the gospel truth, but we have to always remember that the models are simply a guide and they need human interpretation. So, you know, when you're looking at the HRRR, for example, the day of, and you see a nice big cell in your target area, it's very tempting to want to just go sit there because, well, the HRRR said there's going to be a cell there. But you need to be sure to look at all of the ingredients and where they overlay. And then, you know, day of, we're looking at surface observations and satellite imagery. So one of my favorite websites for forecast models is Pivotal Weather, that has access to GFS, the Euro. Those are the long-range models. And then you have the NAM.
Gabe, could you just briefly, for a total noob who wants to maybe get into forecasting, could you just explain a little bit kind of the difference between long-range model, medium-range model, and then the short-range model?
Sure. The long-range models like the GFS and the Euro are really great at forecasting the overall big-scale weather patterns, especially looking down the road several days ahead. And then once it starts getting to within a day or two of an event, that's when I start to switch to the NAM. It starts to provide some more detailed information about ingredients that are coming together. And then the day of, bouncing between the NAM 3K, which is just a higher res NAM, and the HRRR, the HRRR. And those are both convection allowing models. And what that means is it'll show you simulated radar.
Awesome. How do you use models while you're actually on the road?
The day of, let's say there's forecast tornadoes for the evening. When I wake up, the first thing I look at is the HRRR and the NAM 3K, as well as cross-checking my forecasting with the Storm Prediction Center's convective outlooks. So morning of, checking the HRRR, and then it's a matter of finding the place where the necessary ingredients overlay with other necessary ingredients. So, if you're going to look for good dew points, you have to make sure that it has good shear in the same area that there are good dew points. And a lot of this information, we could talk for hours about how all the ingredients affect each other. All that information is conveniently located on the National Weather Service websites. They have some educational resources, and the Storm Prediction Center also has video lectures about severe thunderstorm forecasting. Those are the resources I used a lot when I was learning how to do this, and still reference. So with any of these models, you're able to click on an area on a map to get a forecast sounding. And that is a little more technical display of information, but you'll get all of the necessary information to make accurate forecasts and to figure out where your target area is going to be.
Well, great. Thanks for some great wisdom on using publicly available weather models on places like Pivotal Weather, the SPC, and the NWS. A lot of acronyms there. Great, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been Tracker Chat, and we have been the Tornado Trackers. You can find us everywhere on social media at Tornado Trackers, and our website, tornadotrackers.org. Thanks so much, and we will hear from you next time.
All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. So we're with our SVL Media guys. We got Nathan and Cary with us. We were talking a little bit about trying to kick out the video right away. So Cary, you said you really don't try to edit a lot of it. You're just trying to give them the raw footage to get it to them as quickly as possible. And this has been one of my questions, especially with chasers that spend a lot of time doing a good job editing the footage, especially if they do things like time-lapse photography, things of that nature. I'm always curious, what's better? Is it better to take the time to edit it and create something that's really beautiful, even if it's coming out later, or is it better to just kick something out right away to get it out there and going?
Well, for breaking news or breaking weather news, just get it out there immediately. If you're going to shoot a time lapse, I would suggest to shoot it in RAW and JPEG, so then you could just kind of throw the JPEGs real quick into a video file and just send it off. But for later, I would say it's better maybe for like stock footage, edit it a little bit better, refine it, and then, save it to sell for stock footage or something like that. Time lapses are typically, like a lot of the guys, they don't do it like with an SLR camera taking photos. So it's more of speeding up the video, which is pretty easy to do. So sometimes actually I'll just speed it up in the edit, so you can see
got it.
Something cool, some cool motion in the tornado or something like that,
Cary, I agree. Yeah, the quicker you get it out, the better.
Yeah.
Cary, are you looking for anything particular, from your guys? Are you looking for like, if I'm going to do a time lapse, I want it to be this long with this many frames per second? Is that something works best for you or what?
No, time lapses tend to not really sell that much anyway, so I would say nothing longer than like 10 seconds.
Okay.
You're going to lose the viewers after more than that anyway. Right.
And are you using any kind of special equipment?
When I go out personally myself?
No, just back in the office, in the bay and everything.
I just use Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm using to edit.
Cool.
I think that's what we do too. Yeah, we use a lot of that too.
What do you guys use as well in regards to live streams? So are you selling live streams as well at the same time, saying, "Hey, I got this gal's on a funnel cloud right now out in blah blah blah." So you're selling that as well?
Yeah, Nathan's takes that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of do the live stream side of things, and Cary does the video.
So how does that work? So explain that process a little bit.
Well, I mean, this boils down to, we have a Facebook page that we all are on, and they let us know when they're going to go out there, and they're going to tell us when we're live streaming. Example, we got people that are going to be streaming this coming Saturday for a winter storm that's going on by St. Louis, and so I'll get up at 3:30 in the morning, and I let the Weather Channel know. I say, hey, we got these people that are going to be live, and we do that on a daily basis. During the winter, it's a lot of getting up early. Not so much getting up as early during the tornado season.
Right.
But
Nathan wakes up at 3 in the morning a lot of these times.
Yeah. Any day we got somebody streaming, it's 3 in the morning. We let the Weather Channel know and the networks, and we just tell them what they're going to be doing, where they're located, give them their phone number in case they want to do phone interviews. And so they're all, the Weather Channel or ABC or whoever it is prepared. They've got everything in front of them, and if they want to take the shot live, they can go right away and get a hold of the chaser if they want.
Now, you guys have been doing this for a long time, for a while. What is your most wow? Do you even get wowed anymore? I guess after seeing all this video, all of the streaming, was there something that particularly touched you, or just something you remember as being just absolutely incredible?
The craziest one I can think of is probably Jason Weingart had a video of what part of Texas was it? Eustis, Texas, I believe. And this woman, she basically had a zoo at her house. She had zebra, she had llamas, she had camels and stuff. And, in EF4, it was Canton, Texas. And in EF4, went right through the house, and there was animals everywhere. And, he got on the scene and there was a baby, like a foal that was, trapped. And, he's picking up the fence off it and trying to help it. And eventually he helped it. And I thought that was like one of the most impactful videos I've seen.
Wow. Cool.
The animals in that video were crazy. I mean, they had zebras and
she had like a zoo at her house.
It's crazy.
Wow.
How about you, Nathan? What memorable story?
Well, I mean, that's right up there. That's one of our best. I'm a big guy. I love. We got a guy. His name's Michael Koch, and he does. What is it? Weather going wild. Weather going wild. And he gets out there on the Atlantic and gets these 40-foot, 50-foot waves crashing in, and he's just standing there filming the video. And I just love.
I'll go stand chest deep in it.
Yeah, and these things are just crashing, and the video's just epic, and I just love that stuff. So that's my favorite.
Okay.
See, he lives only about 10 minutes away from me, so whenever I go on a chase, he's basically one of the guys I go with all the time. He's fun to chase with.
Just take one word for you guys: insurance. I'm just
That's right.
Well, so yeah, that's a good point too. Question is, if I wanted to do some streaming with you guys, so let's take someone who says, you know what, this is something I want to do. It's my New Year's resolution. This storm season, I want to stream my footage with SVL Media. What's the process? What do I have to have in order to do that? And how would I go about doing it?
Well, we prefer that you have some sort of a camcorder and a HDMI capture device. That's how you get the best footage. You just, got your video camera, and it goes out the HDMI into your capture device into your computer. You get great resolution. You'll need a Wi-Fi hotspot to get the signal in your vehicle. At that point in time, once you have all the equipment, we would bring you into the SVL Media team, and we put you with one of our folks that is kind of in charge of our Twitch area, because that's where we do our live streaming, is on Twitch. And she has basically everything that we need or you need to be successful on Twitch, and she'll walk you right through it step by step to make sure that your stream is ready for national TV.
Do I have to stream with you guys, or can I just
send you don't have to stream
by video?
Yeah, I'd say 50 of the 130 stream.
Yep.
All right.
So fast forward like 10 years, where do you see you guys yourselves?
Well,
worldwide.
I'll do my part.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, awesome.
More worldwide, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
more Johnny Walker bottles behind you too, I can tell.
We definitely want to improve our international presence. That's an area that we're still learning.
Oh gosh, a lot going on over there. That's awesome.
Well, I do want to say this, Nathan and/or Cary. Actually, let's cover both you guys. So, Nathan, if you can kind of cover how people can find SVL Media and find you guys, and then even personally, if you got a social media account or something, if they want to reach out to you, and then Cary, you can follow.
Yeah, I would say the best way, if you're interested in coming out with SVL Media, is to hit the SVL Media Facebook page. Send us a message. You can also email us at mediadesk@svlmediallc.com. Paul Goddard is one of our other owners, and he does all of our recruiting and bringing people in. So he was the one that will get in touch with you, and he'll find out if you're a good fit for us. As far as me, Twitch, Stormview Live on Twitch is a big thing for me, and then just my regular Facebook page, Nathan Moore. So.
Okay, good. Cary, what about you?
I'm a LI weather guy on basically everything. I do mainly Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
What's the LI stand for?
Long Island.
Long Island.
It's Long Island.
Long Island. It's long, like you mow somebody's lawn.
Yeah, where's your accent, Cary? Where's your accent?
I'm curving it a little,
Are you?
You've been talking to me too much.
That's good. Well, hey, it is time for our lightning round. So this is our game show of flashy questions with our guests. We always invite everybody to play along if you're listening or watching as well. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play a little version of Hollywood Squares. Little Hollywood Squares tonight. So if you're familiar with Hollywood Squares, it's tic-tac-toe. So we're going to play tic-tac-toe, and to get the circle or the X in the square, you have to answer questions correctly. And I'm going to ask our celebrities, and our celebrities are our freaks. I'm going to ask them a question. They're going to give you an answer, and you just have to agree or disagree with their answer. That's all you have to do. If you're correct, we give you that square. If you're incorrect, it doesn't get taken. We go to the next person. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
You guys have any questions on that? Okay, so I think we basically got this down. So I'm doing this old school. So if you happen to be watching on video, I'm going to keep track of our little tic-tac-toe board on a sheet of paper.
We're so high-tech.
But we're basically, we'll just call things for our audio listeners. We'll say center square, left center, right center, upper left, lower right.
Bingo.
We'll do that, and I'll try and keep track of it that way. Does that work?
Cool.
All right, so we flipped a coin before we started the show that Cary and Nathan didn't remember, but Cary won the flip, and he gets to go first. So, Cary, go ahead and pick a square on the tic-tac-toe board. What do you want?
I got to go right in the center.
All right, so we're going to start with the center square, and that is Maz. Maz, you are our center square. So, Maz, here's the question.
Yeah.
Before a cow will give you any milk, she has to have something very important. And what is that?
A ring.
That's good.
If you like it, you got to put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it.
That's awesome.
No. Full udders.
Has to have full udders. Okay. Cary, would you agree or disagree?
Full udders?
Oh, my God.
Okay, agree.
You're going to agree? And that's
not
that's
a farmer.
Actually, in order to have full udders, you actually have to have and deliver a calf. So you actually have to have that before.
Okay.
So we leave the center,
So
the
it's
center
partially
square.
Partially
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, but we're not going to give it to you. So that's open. So Nathan, we go to you. The board is clear. What do you want?
We'll try the center.
All right, center square. Dina, you are now our center square.
Okay.
The question is there any such thing as an F cup in bra sizes?
I would say it's fabulous. Yes. Fabulous size.
So Dina says yes. Nathan, agree or disagree?
I disagree.
You disagree? That's incorrect. There is F size. It's also a triple D. Triple D or F?
That's what fabulous.
We're killing it over here.
You know,
It goes either way. Yeah, it's gonna be a long game of tic-tac-toe.
Phil, before the candy bar used to be known as the fun size.
Oh, jeez.
All right,
fire.
so we are.
Now it's the
hey,
freak
I'm sorry.
size.
I forgot to tell the studio audience to laugh at that. All right,
Thank you.
so we are. Kerry, we're back to you. Board's clear. What do you want?
We're staying there.
Stand center, Kim. Kim, you're our center square. Here's the question. So you've been having trouble going to sleep. Are you probably a man or a woman? You're having trouble going to sleep. Are you probably a man or a woman?
Are we allowed to ask that question?
I don't know. I want to let everybody know that these are actually questions that were asked on Hollywood Square. So I didn't come up with these.
Right.
These aren't.
I feel like this is a trick question.
I would say it's a woman. And you know why? Because I think the husband's snoring.
Yeah.
So I think the woman has a harder time falling asleep. That's my answer.
So woman is the answer. Kerry, agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree. That is correct. So the square goes to the X.
All right.
So very good. All right. So we've got X in the middle right now. Nathan, you are up. Where would you like on the board?
Lower right.
We're going to go lower right. Maz, lower right.
All right.
Here's the question. According to the World Book, is it okay to freeze your Persimmons?
Yes, and that's why they created long underwear.
Very good. Okay.
No, that's a flower, and that is a no.
So that is a no. You should not freeze your Persimmons. Do you agree or disagree, Nathan?
We're going to say disagree.
You're going to say disagree? That is correct.
Yay.
You can freeze your Persimmons.
Don't trust Maz.
So lower right. Lower right gets the circle. All right. So now we're back. We are back to you. Kerry, what are you looking for on the board?
Lower center.
We're going to go lower center. Right down the middle. All right, Dina. This is you. Can elephants get drunk?
Yes, through their trunk.
Through their trunks?
Drunk
on the trunk. I like that.
Junk on the trunk.
Trunk through the trunk.
It sounds dirty, doesn't it?
Is that your answer? Yes?
Yes.
They can. Okay. So what would you say? So who are we on? Nathan?
Me.
Kerry. Kerry, do you agree or disagree with yes, elephants can get drunk?
Yes, agree.
This is incorrect. Elephants cannot get drunk. They would have to.
What if they drink like 1,000 gallons?
What if they drink like a pool size?
Yeah, they would never drink that much.
Cup size.
How do you know?
Hey, look it up. Look it up. All right, so we got nothing. We got nothing in that bottom one. So we're back to you, Nathan. Where would you like on the board?
Upper center.
Upper center. Well, that's a strange spot. So Kim, upper center.
You guys have never played tic-tac-toe before, have you?
I know. These guys are like, what is this game? I've never seen this before. All right, Kim, which of your five senses, not that you would know this, but which of your five senses tends to diminish as you get older?
I'm going to have to say, oh my gosh, I think almost all of them do. Not that I would know any of this, but I have to go with your eyesight, right?
Eyesight diminishes as you get older.
I think it's good, right, that your eyesight goes as you get older.
I'm wearing my glasses tonight.
So you don't see them wrinkle up.
Right?
That's exactly wrinkling up around you.
There's a lot of things
it still looks so good, honey.
All right, Nathan. Of the five senses that tends to diminish, she said eyesight. Eyesight. Agree or disagree?
That's what I would say would be my second guess, but I think hearing would be the first, so I'm going to disagree.
That's true.
That is correct. It's actually all of them. A little bit of a trick question, but
I did say
all of your senses
first,
diminish as you get older.
I did. That was the first thing I said.
You know,
all right.
My wife said it's my sense of humor gets worse.
That's good. Well, nice.
Yes.
All right, Kerry. Here's what the board looks like. We got circle top center, X in the center, and circle in the lower right. What do you want?
Upper right.
We're gonna go upper right.
Okay,
so this is for really nothing. We're still not blocking anything yet. You guys, you have played tic-tac-toe before, right?
I know. Are we going to run out of questions?
We are.
There's actually a certain pattern you should follow.
We're actually going to start playing. If you get it wrong, you lose it, and it's going to go to the next person. In fact, I think that's we're going to start doing this now. I'll give this. We'll do it on the next question. All right. So this, you're going to get it or not get it. So who are we up? Maz, we're up to you again. You had the Persimmons question. You also has, what is a good reason for pounding meat? What is a good reason for pounding meat? Why would you want to pound?
Keep it clean.
It's a real question. I'm just saying. These aren't mine.
What's the topic again?
It's to tenderize.
To tenderize the meat, okay? To tenderize. So, Kerry, it's up to you, right?
Agree.
You agree?
Agree.
That would be correct. It's to
All
tenderize
right.
or thin your meat for cooking.
Okay.
All right, so
put any kind of oil on it first or anything?
Oh, God. See, Maz, I told you about it.
Yeah.
I told you. If the girls would have been on those two shows, it would have been worse than it was. All right, here's what the board looks like, Nathan.
I gotta block him.
You got to block them, so we're going to go lower left for the block. Dina, the question's you. Do female frogs croak? Yes?
Only when they die. But
Only
now
when they die.
I'll give you it. I will say female ones don't, just because we let the boys make all those gross noises.
Oh.
That's true. When it comes to the human, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but male, female.
All right, so
I'll say no.
So for the this is for the block. Nathan, agree or disagree?
I mean, wouldn't that be the female mating call? Disagree.
You disagree that she said no, which that's like a double negative. I had to think about that, but yes, that is correct. So you get the block.
I was confused.
I was too. I was
Where
like,
we
okay,
are.
no, and it's disagree to a no. Does that mean yes? Does that?
Should have
Yeah.
stopped drinking.
I gotta have another beer.
Stop.
All right, so we are now playing. You get the square, or you give up. You give up the square. Here's what it looks like, Kerry.
Gotta go.
Circle in the top center and the two lower left and rights, and we got
Lower
X's
center.
You're gonna go lower center
For the block.
for the. This would be for block. You're right.
Oh, I thought
Okay.
it was a circle. Okay.
No, he's
So
the X.
square.
All right, so this is for a block,
X.
or this is for actually. Here's I think how they play it. It's for the block, but you can't lose it for the win. So okay.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. So who are we on? Kim.
Yes.
In bowling, what is a perfect score in bowling?
I'm gonna have to
What
say
is a perfect score?
200.
200. All right. Carrie, agree or disagree?
Disagree. It's 300.
Oh,
That's
he's sure.
correct.
Yeah, he was sure about it.
300 for
Former
the block.
bowler.
Oh, that's right, because I bowled a 211 once.
All right.
Oh well.
I've scored a
bonus.
couple times in bowling. I'll just say that I've
When
got
the waitress
a couple.
brings you through.
Exactly. Score. All right. Here's what the board looks like. We got three more spots still open, heading towards a tie.
Left center.
Nathan's going for left center, and we are up to Maz. You ready?
We'll
So
see.
when you pat a dog, he will wag his tail. But what will happen when you pat a goose?
You get wide-eyed and
Jeez.
The crowd didn't laugh for that one. Sorry.
you get a honk. You get a honk from the goose.
Or
get a
you
honk.
get a golden egg.
You get a honk. All right.
You probably get a bite.
Do we agree or disagree?
Disagree.
You disagree. That is correct. You take a drink. It's a Patron tequila and it's a Grey Goose vodka chaser.
Oh man.
What?
All right.
I totally lost you.
You didn't catch that? It's called patting a goose. You have a shot of Patron and then you chase it with a Grey Goose vodka.
Oh,
No.
wow.
It's called pat a goose.
Trick,
Come on,
trick.
get with
All
it,
right.
guys. All right, here's what the board looks like. We only got a couple spots. What are
I
you
gotta go
taking?
for the block in the upper left.
Block in the upper left. Can anybody win? Yeah, you can. You can
Yeah,
still win.
one.
You can't. I'll tell you this. This is real exciting, Carrie. You can't win.
I can only save myself from losing.
All right. Okay, so Dina, this is you. We got to finish this. This is
All
very
right.
good. All right. If you were pregnant for 2 years, what would you give birth to?
Holy.
Whoa.
2 years of
And
pregnancy.
I'll say it's got to be like something big, like a whale or elephant. So I'll go with elephant.
Elephant. Agree or disagree?
Agree. It's an elephant.
It is an elephant.
Dina.
Wow.
That being said, we are going to end in a complete tie. So, gentlemen, you know enough of tic-tac-toe to know how to tie, which is good. That makes me wonder now, how did they win in Hollywood Squares at this point? I don't get that game anymore. I don't know. That's weird.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was good. Well, anyway, thanks for playing along, guys. You were great. Hey, we're going to go ahead, everybody. We're going to take our final break. We've got our new Tornado Talk segment with the story of the 1979 Red River Valley tornado outbreak, and we'll be right back with some weather fools.
The Red River Valley tornado outbreak, also known as Terrible Tuesday, occurred on April 10, 1979. 25 to 30 tornadoes occurred on this day. 2 were given a rating of F4, and each of these were long track and at times were over a mile wide. The first F4 tornado had a path of 37 miles, causing damage in the town of Lockett, Texas, and it devastated the southern and eastern parts of Vernon. It was described as a giant boiling cloud on the ground. Some of the worst damage was in southern Vernon on Gordon and Atlanta streets. 11 were killed, 1 in Lockett, and 10 in Vernon. The most devastating tornado of the day was also given an F4 rating. It tracked through the southern portion of Wichita Falls, Texas. This tornado had a total track of almost 47 miles, 8 of those miles through portions of Wichita Falls. It grew over a mile wide at times, and there were close to 1,800 injuries reported and 42 fatalities. The tornado moved into Wichita Falls, hitting Memorial Stadium and McNeil Junior High School. It slammed into an apartment complex in a nearby neighborhood, and it was here that the tornado's first fatalities were recorded. The massive tornado continued to the east-northeast, damaging commercial buildings along Southwest Parkway. The Southwest National Bank was destroyed, except for its vault. The National Weather Service, in partnership with FEMA and the Red Cross, produced a documentary in 1984 called Terrible Tuesday. It includes survivor stories and safety information. Here is Isla Benson, who rode out the tornado in the bank's vault with several employees.
They had sounded the tornado sirens that afternoon, but we really didn't pay any attention to them till I made a call home to my son, and he said, "Mom, there is a bad storm coming, so please take cover." So 7 of us employees went into the vault, and we knelt on the floor, and we could hear this roaring sound. And then all of a sudden we just felt like we was going to explode, and our ears needed popping. So we stayed there for a while till everything got quiet, and then we got up and we looked out, and we just couldn't believe what we saw, because there the cars that were in the parking lot were now in the bank's lobby, and there was no bank left.
Further east of this area, homes in the Faith Village addition were destroyed, and Ben Milam Elementary School was severely damaged. The tornado moved across Kemp Boulevard, and several more fatalities occurred in this area as commercial businesses, including a restaurant, were destroyed. Many cars at the Sykes Center shopping mall were tossed on top of each other. Damage occurred on the south side of Midwestern State University, and on the east side of town, the Sun Valley housing area, the Sunnyside Heights Mobile Home Park, and many large commercial businesses were destroyed. The tornado moved away from town and entered Clay County. As many as 5 satellite vortices were seen in this area, and a large number of rural homes were destroyed in Clay County. There were no fatalities here. The tornado officially tracked over the Red River into Jefferson County, Oklahoma, and after causing significant damage to approximately 20 homes, it dissipated. Many people tried to flee from the tornado as it crossed the south side of Wichita Falls by getting into their cars and driving east on Southwest Parkway, north on U.S. Highway 281, and then east again on U.S. Highway 287. And many of those vehicles were blown off the roadways. 42 people were killed in Wichita Falls, of which 25 were vehicle-related, and 16 of the 25 got in their vehicles to move out of the tornado's path. 11 of the 16 homes that were left were not damaged by the tornado. An extremely devastating set of statistics for this event. Over 3,000 homes were destroyed by the Wichita Falls Terrible Tuesday F4 tornado, and 1,000 were damaged. Over 1,000 apartment units were destroyed. 140 mobile homes were destroyed, and 2 schools were demolished. Total property damage estimated at $400 million in 1979 dollars. It's one of the top 10 costliest tornadoes since records began in 1950. After surveying the damage that occurred on Terrible Tuesday, Ted Fujita stated the following about the Wichita Falls tornado, quote, "The damage path was one of the widest I've ever seen, and its intensity was almost equal to that of the giant storm that leveled Xenia, Ohio in the 1974 tornado outbreak." Details on this event gathered from a special summary from the National Weather Service in Norman, Oklahoma, and from the official storm data publication from April of 1979. You can read about this event and many others on our website at tornadotalk.com and get hooked on more tornado history by following us on social media.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the part of the show where we have a lot of fun making fun of people when they do stupid things in weather. We call it our Weather Fools part of the show. And we have a couple people with Weather Fools that we want to show you. I think, Kim, you've got one, right?
I do. All right, we're there?
you go.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just on YouTube. I just typed in Slipping on Ice 2019, and I had to go at about 2.5 minutes into this one. And the whole, you guys, if you have to watch the whole compilation.
Oh, it's great.
And it is. You've seen this already, you guys?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this one, I want to show you this one. Okay. And then okay. So what's happening is this guy and this girl, they're in a car and there's ice on a sidewalk and there's snow everywhere. And they're parked at a bend in the sidewalk where all these students are walking and they're videotaping these kids falling. Like they keep saying, okay, here comes another group of kids. Let's watch them fall.
Oh.
And then these kids wipe out.
Oh, that was a
They're
big
not-
kid, too.
They're not warning.
Oh, hi, Mom. Oh.
They're not
Down he
warning
goes.
these kids. They're just sitting there videotaping all these kids falling. And I just thought it was terrible.
That's like ice chasing
Okay.
right
It
there.
is.
SVL Media ought to be on that.
So to
Yeah,
me,
get on that.
that is, I thought the Weather Fools were the ones in the car. I just thought, that's terrible that they actually, were videotaping these kids
I wonder
falling.
if they got permission slips from all the kids to show their video.
That's a good question. I don't know, but
And not only were they videoing them, they were laughing their butts off as they were
That's-
videoing.
Yeah.
exactly
And the kids
right.
weren't even on the phones. I don't see
No.
one phone in their hand.
No, none of them were. They were innocent kids walking, and these people in this car were just laughing at them, thought it was the funniest thing, instead of letting these kids know they were about to hurt themselves. But anyway, then I felt bad because I'm laughing at this whole thing. So I don't know. But that's my fool right there.
All right, you can
Okay.
you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
All right, Bill, you have a Weather Fool too, right?
I do have a Weather Fool, and this is the second time I've had a Weather Fool like this, and it's a little somber, and so I a little bit apologize up front for doing this, but this is another situation where sometimes being a Weather Fool can be extremely dangerous, and can cost people's lives. And this, so I'm going to share with you guys, was from South Carolina. There were some sheriff deputies that were charged with manslaughter after Hurricane Florence because they were transporting some mentally ill patients to another hospital in a county sheriff's van, and they ignored several opportunities to turn away from flooded waters, actually drove through miles worth of roads and flooded waters. And unfortunately, what happened is they got too far into the flooded area, it stalled the vehicle got pushed off the road. They were able to get out, but unfortunately the patients were in the back of a van in a cage that was locked.
No,
that's a tough way to go,
and
man.
they drowned. And,
how horrible! Oh,
so an example, folks, of we like to have a lot of fun with this, but there's also a reason why we say this is foolish, because it really can cost lives, and it really is dangerous, especially when you're putting other people at risk from this. So I apologize for being a little somber on that, but when I heard this story, I'm just like, this is the pinnacle of being stupid in a weather situation, and putting other people's lives. So you know, if you want to take your own life and you're in the car and you do that, that's fine, but don't do it with someone else in the vehicle.
But think about it. If it could happen to deputies, I mean, it could happen to anybody.
True.
I mean, it was bad decisions. It was a bad and poor decision, but a lot of people think I'm going to be fine, and it just doesn't.
Yeah.
All right, I've got one too, and this one's funnier.
All right, good. We need to be a little lighter.
Let me end it on a funny note. All right, so this is either Weather Cool or Weather Fool, And if you guys have been paying attention to what's going on in Europe right now, they've been getting hit with tons of snow and blizzards and stuff. And the video coming out of there is incredible. So this is from severe-weather.eu on Twitter. And this was winter fun, where a car is driving across the road and people are skiing behind it. So I don't know if it's weather fool or weather cool, but I'm just going to play this because I think it's so cute. Let's see if it plays. But you can see it go by, and they're just skiing behind it. And I think it's funny, but
like skiing.
But the weather fool part of it is me being a mom. Like, you stupid. This is you're gonna go down. You're gonna go down.
It's all fun until they take that turn too tight.
There he goes. There he goes.
Lamp there or something, right?
Oh my God, it's funny because you could tell nobody's even on the road. Yeah. That just this one guy. So, I mean,
Probably shouldn't have tied themselves to the bumper too.
No, because then they're going to get dragged. It's kind of like almost like the Marty McFly hanging off the back in the snow.
We're giving Nathan and Carrie too many ideas, I think.
How can we stage this?
I know.
Dollar signs in their eyes.
If you guys want to watch any of these, go to episode 70 show notes. They're fun to watch.
Awesome. All right. So let's go to stormfrontfreaks.com, anything episode 70, or look on your phone. A lot of times, guys, if you're listening to the podcast on your phone, you can pull up the show notes right there on your podcast app. We'll have those links on there. So, Maz.
All right. Time now for Weather, Believe It or Not. And actually, we've had some really good ones in the past, so I'm excited about this. Let's see. Kim, you've got one for today, don't you?
I do. All right, here we go again. Okay. So we don't share on this one, do we?
You can if you want.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I would probably say, Kim, probably you don't need to share. That's just my vote, right? That's just one vote.
The question is, can I do it? Is the real question. All right. So this was kind of cool that I actually found an article and and this to me was like, believe it or not, right? Do you believe this? That it took till 1950 that weathermen, back then it was weathermen, they were not allowed, they were forbidden to say the word tornado in their forecasts.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
In Russia?
No, this is here in the United States. And there's a story here, and it's, you could find it. I'm sure we'll give you let's see, atlasobscura.com. And it says, until 1950, U.S. weathermen were forbidden from talking about tornadoes. And it goes in and talks about how back then, because they were so bad at forecasting, their bosses and stuff didn't want them talking about it to panic people. So they were forbidden to say it because their forecasting was so bad anyway that they were probably wrong most of the time. So they weren't allowed to say it. And it wasn't until 1950 that they were actually able to say it on the air or, whatever at the time. And they actually quote, Roger, see where'd it go here.
Wow.
Let's call him Roger. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
You know who Roger is. About how that all happened and how, they were actually back then just so afraid. They were so frightened by these things that they weren't even allowed to say the word until the 1950s. So it was kind of an interesting article. Hard to believe that even took place.
All right. So mine is about ball lightning. Do you believe in ball lightning? I found a cool video, and we'll put it on our show notes, but it's kind of cool because years ago, they weren't sure if it was really real or not. And I remember learning about it in college, but this video is really cool. It's an unexplained atmospheric electrical phenomenon. They say it's actually in the shape of a ball, hence ball lightning. But you can see it. It almost looks like, like the size of a tennis ball or a golf ball. Some say it's up to different sizes. Like one thing says 8 feet.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really cool to watch this video. And in one way you kind of think, is it actually lightning or is it just aliens, like alien drones? But I remember even going back at school and learning about it. And they said, it could even travel through your home.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So glass. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it comes through your home. So,
you know what that video looked like, Kerry, it looked like Brooklyn and the transformer that blew from Edison Power.
That was so cool.
Big glowing blue light. Did you?
I'm sure you were able to see it, weren't you, Kerry?
Just a hint of it out the window.
Okay.
I've personally never seen it. I think that's so cool.
That is cool.
Is that really cool? St. Elmo's Fire? Is that
yes. Okay. It is.
Cool.
I can definitely say, living in Chicago, I saw ball lightning multiple times.
You did?
Yes.
Really? How big was it? Like
it looked like the sun flashing real bright. That's what it looked like.
How big was your ball? Really?
Like how big was the ball? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, literally like the size of the sun. If you're looking at the sun in the distance, is just like
that big.
Yeah.
Is this before or after Leinenkugel?
How many shandies have you had there?
All right, Phil, you got one of these too?
All right, yeah, so I do have something to share with you. I'm going to take us back to 1911.
Deja vu.
And this unbelievable cold front swept across the central portion of the U.S. This was in November, 9th through the 12th of November, so not all far from that right now in the time of the year. But listen to this. This is in November. We had violent tornadoes breaking out in Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
No.
In November, believe it or not. And an F4 twister decimated Janesville, Wisconsin. It actually killed 9 people, injured 50. But listen to this. The tornado struck about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on November 11th. By midnight, blizzard conditions were raging, and the temperature had fallen from 70 degrees to 7 degrees.
Wow.
This is in one afternoon from 2 p.m. to midnight. So these guys are having to clean up after an F4 tornado in blizzard conditions.
Yeah. Wow, it went from 70 to 7?
70 to 7.
It's like it saw a trooper.
Yeah, 2 p.m. to midnight.
It's like it's not a state trooper.
Wait a minute, Dina, you just tweeted that today.
I know, that's where I got it.
Oh my gosh!
She's reusing her stuff. That's okay.
Use it.
Material.
Yeah, I was like, I heard that somewhere.
So anyway, look that up. That might be on tornadotalk.com. Who knows? But 1911, Janesville, Wisconsin tornado.
How do they know it was an F4 in 1911?
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Well.
Look it up. Probably from the damage pictures and stuff like that. They maybe are looking at that.
How old was Fujita? How old was Fujita?
I don't know how old he was. I don't know. Look it up. It's National Weather Service has even talked about the F level of that tornado. So.
Like an F cup.
You know what? Hey, maybe Fujita went back and studied that particular tornado and said, "Hey, I studied it and looked at all the pictures and da da."
And they did. That's what they did. If you look at the
and what he said. What he said was, "What effing level is that?"
It was an F4, exactly. F you, man. All right, that's my weather's believe it or not.
And EF is extra FU.
Okay.
Okay. With that note, hey, you can check out all the weather, believe it or not, and weather resources at stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 70. Show notes.
You got that right, man. All right, so MJ's a little under the weather, so we're going to save our listener questions and responses for next episode. And so I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. I want to thank everybody for listening and watching. Before I reveal who our next guests are going to be, if you enjoy our show, do us a favor, leave us a great review on your podcast app, but also don't forget to subscribe to the show. You just have to hit your podcast app subscribe button, and it works just like a free magazine or newspaper subscription because it is free. It assures you get the latest show delivered right to your podcast inbox so you can listen to it the minute that we release it. So I want to give a special thanks out to our guests tonight, Nathan Moore and Cary Meltzer. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Very honored, honestly. Thank
Awesome.
you.
It was great having you on. And our next episode in 2 weeks, we're going to be recording on January 24th with Mark Remillard and Bobby Nichols of the Outbreak storm chasing video game. So this is a storm chasing video game that they're working on putting out. If you'd like to watch the recording live at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. Just go ahead and search Stormfront Freaks. And you'll find us there. So unless anybody's got anything else for Sicko, MJ, for Maz, Dina, Kim, Nathan, and Cary, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear. Happy New Year. We'll catch you guys next time.
Awesome.
Bye.
Night, you guys.
Awesome.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Find our bi-weekly show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Watch our shows on YouTube and Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. For show notes, additional information about this episode, as well as past and upcoming shows, videos, photos, merchandise, and more, visit our website at stormfrontfreaks.com. While you're there, check out our live interactive storm chaser radar provided by our friends at zoomradar.com. If you would like to contact us with questions or make comments about the show, shoot us an email to questions@stormfrontfreaks.com or follow us on Twitter or Facebook. Search for Stormfront Freaks. We'd love to hear from you. Join us next time and tell a friend about the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Okay.
Is that a Christy Minstrel's album behind you, Phil?
That is. You better believe
gosh.
You
I have their
believe
Christmas one. It was the, is it Mitch Miller and the let's see. Something the Christy Minstrels. Yeah.
Sleigh bells ringing and jing, jing, jingling too.
Wow.
It's lovely. I'll do my Carlton.
Oh my gosh. I shouldn't have asked.
That was your fault. You should know
had that
better
pretty
by now.
down.
This is season 4.0 for crying out loud.